the level of hockey is being played. Like, if you're not really into the NHL, you should watch this, and you will enjoy it. Like, it's a different level of hockey. Like, the NHL, basically, there's like 6 really good guys on each team. And in the Olympics, like, every guy is good. Like, it's next level. It's something to behold.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listen at those games there. How about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Patriots postseason to the worst regular season of the last umpteen years. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right. So the Patriots postseason, they averaged 1.13 points per drive, okay? Mm-hmm. The winless Cleveland Browns about 10 years ago averaged 1.22.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hour number 2 is underway, and they said, like, how do you still have a 2-hour show on the air? You got no basketball to talk about in the NBA. You got no hockey. What do you guys do? We give you the information that you need that keeps it fun and keeps it moving all the way through. Hour number 1 down, hour number 2 on deck. Your boy DRS and Joe Ranieri. It's how we get down, Joe. Just what we do.
That's exactly how we do it, Donnie, because it is the calm before the storm, and there are a lot of huge college basketball games here. Yes. I mean, we're less than 4 weeks away from Selection Sunday now, and this is the last chance here, last couple of chances for bubble teams to make that pitch to be one of the top 64, right? And it starts tonight with about a half a dozen games. So now is the time. If you haven't gotten into college basketball, now is the time to pay attention.
Get those quad 1 victories under your belt here. But before we get to those quad 1 victories here, a lot more baseball here to clean up, Joe. The Padres are going to extend A.J. Preller as their general manager. And Nick Castellanos is now in the Padres. Let's see if he likes his new general manager.
Well, I got a phone call from my agent and said that San Diego's interested and they want to talk. Do you want to do that? I said absolutely. The call went well, and I made my decision to sign.
What kind of things did they say to you that appealed to you, and what are your expectations?
I mean, they're giving me an opportunity. That's all I can ask for, to be able to come here, be myself, work hard, make the club, earn my playing time, and just help, really, in any way that I can, San Diego win.
Did you discuss with Manny at all before you made the decision?
Yeah, I had conversations with Manny throughout the offseason, sure.
Did he advise you to come here at all, or sway the decision?
Sure. My relationship with Manny played part in it.
He's going to like San Diego much better than Philadelphia when he's in his net negative out there in right field or wherever he's playing, or goes through his, I'm going to have 5 base hits for the entire month and swing at everything outside the zone. He won't get that pressure from San Diego. But again, can't fault San Diego, Joe. They're paying this guy under $1 million. Be like, hey, maybe he turns out to be a positive.
Yeah, listen, a change of scenery is never a bad thing, right? And you know this, Donnie, as a Phillies guy, that absolutely grew stale in a hurry. It was all fun and games when he was actually producing, but, now all of a sudden you got, now you're starting to regret the $100 million contract you gave him to begin with. You still owe him $20 million. Better to cut ties And I think Philly did exactly what they needed to do. But kudos to the Padres. But again, they just signed an extension here for the GM, Preller, but they're still trying to sell this team. There's so much uncertainty about the Padres moving forward. But hey, listen, as long as he can go halfway to what he used to be there, it's probably going to be enough for the Padres.
By the way, check this out here. Like we have a video here coming up for Steve Cohen, and I just feel like this is a fight against the New York Yankees here. Let's hear from Steve Cohen on what he's talking about on this topic.
Is there any movement to name a team captain, or is that something you don't think is necessary?
As long as I'm owning the team, there will never be a team captain.
Really?
Okay, that was my decision. My view is the locker room is unique, and let the locker room sort it out year in, year out. And so.
So you're not saying that there'll never be one? But
no, there'll never be a captain.
Oh, there'll never be a captain.
There'll never be a captain.
Okay. When did you make that decision?
I've felt that way all along.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that mean he thinks he is the team captain and wants to be a part of it here? And notice he said, like, the locker room will sort that out. The next question right away should have been like, so there really is going to be a team captain then?
Yeah, and it's amazing how under his ownership they've actually accomplished nothing. It's a shocker here because, there'll never be a team captain. We'll never have any leaders leading the locker room. We're just going to let them figure it out on their own. Like, come on. Could you imagine having a guy like Derek Jeter and a lot and be like, he'll never be a captain? No, it just never. It's not like, stop it. Will you? Ridiculous.
Guarantee it. The Yankees never had a captain. Steve Cohen like, of course you should have a captain on your team. That's the way you're supposed to have baseball teams here. But it seems like a shot at the Yankees, which hey, look, I'm a fan of that. I like when both of those two teams hate each other, and they certainly do. Have a Craig Mish, our boy here on the network. You want to watch him on Newswire? You got it each and every day. But also, he does like to participate in a little bit of Marlins fun. Strong words from Miami Marlins president Peter Bendix on day number 1. We don't care what other teams are doing. We're trying to beat them. No, what that should say is we don't care what other teams are doing. We're not going to outspend them is what that quote should have been.
Yeah, well, that's kind of, you got underneath there, the underlining meaning. You got to read between the BS that they're throwing at you in Marlins world here is that, yes, we don't care what they're doing. We just care how much they're going to give us for our best players in return when we trade them because we're never going to pay them. That was also part of the comment. Unreal.
By the way, you want some more good stuff here, Joe? You know I love a good uniform here, and the Reading Phillies do a lot of nice uniforms and off-brand stuff during the season. That's what you do at minor league ballparks. A little bit quirky here. You get the fans to come out, maybe buy some paraphernalia. Look at this rebrand. The minor league affiliate of the Major League Baseball Philadelphia Phillies, the Reading Fightin' Phils, announced they're rebranding as the Reading Iced Coffees for their annual morning game on August 26, 2026. By the way, kind of dig that hat a little bit, though, Joe. I do. Could we use this, Joe, this logo for Caffeinated Joe as well? Can we call the Reading Fightin' Phils?
We could. I thought it was a beat up Cheez-It there for a minute when I first glanced at it, but it's an iced coffee. Look at that thing. Yes. I don't know what the bandages are for there, but we got to get him a pretty cool hat, I think, and we'll be okay here with this.
Now, Joe, let me bring this. This should be near and dear to your heart. I had nothing but positive vibes last year for Tampa Bay baseball. They moved outdoors to a small ballpark in the heat and humidity, and that ball flew. The only thing I hated over the past 15, 20 years with Tampa was where they played. You hit a ball 500 feet, it went 250 feet because the ball just didn't travel. Look at Tropicana's new roof here that does look like a circus tent. Why is it different colors? Is it designed to mess with the outfielders where they really can't track a baseball? What are we doing?
I don't know what took so long to put the roof on, Donnie. I really don't. I mean, I know they were going through a sale of the team and who was going to, the whole point wasn't the whole point of paying insurance is that so when, I don't know, a hurricane rolls through, Donnie, and it rips your roof off like every other homeowner in the state of Florida, it automatically kicks in, pays for it, and get it done. They literally dragged their feet on this, and that is what they came up with when it's all said and done. Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Tampa Bay Rays and their fans.
I'll tell you what else is unfortunate here. A couple of years ago in the WBC, man, Trey Turner was on absolute fire for Team USA. Now Trey Turner was waiting around, and that phone didn't ring. Let's hear from Trey Turner.
Were you just planning not to go back to the WBC, or is that something you just didn't want to do? I don't know who's disappointed. Something I want to do. Phone never rang.
You got a great.
Happens. But I wish those guys the best. I think it's so much fun. I gladly would have done it again. I said if I was time if they ever ask, I would say yes. They got a great roster this year, stacked. So I think we're in a good spot to win. I'll definitely be watching it, and wish Kyle and Bryce and all these guys. So everyone playing. I hope they perform well for their countries, and it's a lot of.
By the way, put a still shot up there of Trey Turner. Like, if I would have told you, Joe, this might be the fastest man in Major League Baseball with a $300 million contract. Like, if you took away the Phillies logo and the CBS Sports or the NBC logo on that one mic and be like, what does this guy do for a living? What, skateboard? Like, what would you think he did for a living right there, Joe?
That's a good question. I would be like, hey, man, are you lost? Yeah. You like a cousin? You know somebody here? Like, who are you exactly? Why are you in this locker room here? But I love this answer, though, too, Donnie, going, well, the phone never rang, man. It's just that they never called me. So we'll see. I still think he's got a little bit left in the tank, too.
By the way, never forget his introductory press conference with the Philadelphia Phillies when he signed that big contract. Put the jersey on. They gave him the hat for the picture, and he goes, can't put that hat on. Just got a fresh haircut at this point right now. Yeah. That's how you know, boy. Profiling and styling here with the best of them. Shortstop Trey Turner. True. By the way, if you think we forgot our early lineup again, hour number 2, we did it. Pushing it to the next segment here. We got all angles covered. When the topics are hot, let it fly, people. It's what we do.
The level of hockey is being played. Like, if you're not really into the NHL, you should watch this and you will enjoy it. Like, it's a different level of hockey. Like, the NHL, basically, there's like 6 really good guys on each team. And in the Olympics, like, every guy is good. Like, it's next level. It's something to behold.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listening to those games there, how about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Patriots postseason to the worst regular season of the last umpteen years. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right. So the Patriots postseason, they averaged 1.13 points per drive, okay? The winless Cleveland Browns about 10 years ago averaged 1.22.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Right back at it on the early line. The early lineup, Joe. Let's get right to it once again. Big news down in South Florida. Oh, my goodness. Bradley Chubb's out of a job here. Then news came that Tyreek Hill is also out of a job. Seems like the rebuild is underway in Miami. Get rid of the head coach. Get rid of some of the superstar talent. And the question next is going to be, Joe, was that wide receiver who caught footballs from the quarterback? Well, that same quarterback, we know who he is, Will he be tossed out as well? But Tyreek's gone. $22.8 million in savings on the cap for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and listen, he was not going to be ready and available, for the start of the season anyway. I mean, he is still rehabbing what was was an awful injury there back in September. So, he had to go at this point, because if they left him on once the calendar turns to March 1st, he turns 32. They would have had to carry almost $52 million in a cap hit if he was still on the team. So they didn't have any option but to let him go. Now the question is, where does he go? Chubb, we know, can probably still help some teams there as a rusher. But the big question, like you said, for Miami is, it's great to hit the restart button, but what are you doing with that quarterback? Because that, too, comes with a huge cap hit.
By the way, Joe, like sometimes I find myself, we're embedded in the show. We can't really pay attention to all details, but our double box right here, I see it like above the early lineup. It says SportsGrid, the early lineup, like that. And also Get Up and Bet Up. Were those added recently, Joe, or I just don't pay attention at all?
I like it. I might have to get a shirt with that on it now, Donnie. I like it.
Get Up and Bet Up. Logos. Yes. Logos out there, Joe. We're going to be selling merch left and right here. I'll tell you, also selling merch left and right. Hilton Magic last night. Iowa State knocks off Houston, and maybe, Joe, they could have won by 1 point, and they still would have won and had their celebration, and we could have put some money in our pocket. But oh well.
Yeah. Well, at one point in that game, Donnie, down 10 Iowa State, there was about 6 minutes to go. We had a slam dunk after a ball was actually stolen by Houston, which would have made it a 12-point game. But instead, the ref blows the whistle, Donnie, and says kicked ball. But the replay clearly showed nobody kicked the ball. But guess what? Talking about challenges, apparently in college basketball, that's not a challengeable play. So you have all this technology to challenge everything else, but the ref blowing the ball, he didn't kick the ball. The ball was never kicked. You can't overturn that. You can't even challenge that. Why, I have no idea, but that's, you're shooting yourself in the foot here, college basketball. You should be able to review and just get the play correct. It doesn't matter what it is, Donnie.
You know what matters, Joe? Upper East Side, Lower East Side, all the same to me. Ronnie Hickman back in the city at a hotel. Ends up getting jumped there. Not a good look. Tough scene.
Well, if you own a home on the Upper East Side, Upper West Side, probably means a little different to them. But if you're Ronnie here, hanging out at a hotel on the Upper East Side means that you're likely going to get jumped and beat up pretty good, which is exactly what happened. Strange situation all the way around there. You want to bet the cameras didn't work either, Donnie? What do you think?
How about this? I want to bet, Joe, that there's been a memo sent out to all Major League Baseball players making a lot of money, even in big markets. Here's Aaron Judge. Let's hear what he had to say.
What was the offseason like for you, just waiting to see what the front office was going to do? And then obviously with Cody, going into January, not knowing whether he was going to be back or not, and how important he is to this team.
It was brutal. I'm like, I see a lot of free agents out there. I see a lot of guys that, like the Bellingers, the Grishams, the Goldschmidts, like, let's sign these guys right now and then start adding more pieces, because I'm seeing other teams around the league get better. They're making trades. They're signing big prospects or big players. And, we're sitting there for a while, kind of making smaller moves. But, it was tough there in the beginning. But I think once we solidified getting Bellinger back, we got Trent being our center fielder, be our leadoff guy for another year. And then you had a guy like Goldie, some of the back end, bullpen pieces that we've been doing. I think we're being in a good spot, but early on it was pretty tough to watch. And man, we're the New York Yankees. Let's go out there and get the right people, get the right pieces to go out there and finish this thing off, because we got a special group of players here. We got a good core, good young core. So it was frustrating, but I think we're right where we need to be.
Did you express any of that to them?
Yeah. But they took care of business. I voiced my opinion about a couple of guys, Bellinger being one of the guys that he just adds a dynamic to this team that, we've been missing for quite a few years. So excited he's back.
They're openly going against, and we're talking about guys that are making hundreds of millions of dollars on their contract, Joe. They are going against their organization in front of the press before spring training even starts. There's no way we're playing baseball next year. No shot.
Yeah, well, they're all laying in it, all the big name guys too, right? The Harpers of the world, now the Aaron Judges of the world. They're basically laying it out there where it's us versus ownership. Like ownership should be spending money. Ownership shouldn't be looking for ways to cut costs. It all has an underlining meaning, because if you think the players are going to lay down and allow a salary cap to hit, that ain't going to happen here.
That's all right, Joe. You know what that means? We lose a year, we get steroids back in baseball and juice baseballs, and guys are hitting 90 to 100 bombs the following season to get the fans back into the ballparks. Maybe that happens here. Olympic hockey, Joe. We're not talking gold medal round. We're talking about a guy who said, you know what? I got passion. Stop pushing my country around. I'm dropping the gloves with you, Tom Wilson. And his own country, Joe, goes, persona non grata. Get out of town. No, that's not what we want to see.
Yeah, I mean, France finally gets a fighter on their team, and they're like, nope, we can't have this. You're going to have to let other people fight for you. Not a good look there, France, but it's no wonder why they're getting blown out again by Germany here today.
U.S. bobsled, 41 years old, don't matter. That's a gold medal, baby, for Team USA.
Yeah, USA. Love the over 40 crew getting the golds for us here, Donnie.
Maybe Tiger Woods' announcement's going to be like he's going to play in the next Olympics here in L.A. What's he going to say, Joe, at the presser today? Is he back? Is he not back? Well, did he just sign a deal, or is this some nonsense about the TGL or whatever it's called?
Well, it's his tournament there right now, the Genesis, but I am thinking he is going to let us know that he will play this year at Augusta, which is just around the corner, believe it or not. Crazy.
By the way, is the TGL still playing? Is that season over already, Joe? I don't know. Still playing. On. Of course it is. The Jupiter Lynx, Joe, all the way to the title. We got it, baby. We'll be right back. You know the deal. What we do.
The level of hockey is being played. Like, if you're not really into the NHL, you should watch this and you will enjoy it. Like, it's a different level of hockey. Like, the NHL, basically, there's like 6 really good guys on each team. And in the Olympics, like, every guy is good. Like, it's next level. It's something to behold.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listening to those games there, how about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Patriots postseason to the worst regular season of the last umpteen years. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right. So the Patriots postseason, they averaged 1.13 points per drive, okay? The winless Cleveland Browns about 10 years ago averaged 1.22.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Predictive markets, we love them. Kalshi, Polymarket, get involved, invest. You know the drill. We've been telling you this for months and months and months. And even, Joe, we have our own show, PME, that airs on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I believe now. 3 days to catch the boys here on the hottest topics, but also I know, Joe, you've seen that meme in the past where the young kid's going, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James. Yeah, he's a hot topic. We don't have any basketball going on right now, but the question's going to be is, after that All-Star game and separate press conferences, will LeBron James retire before next NBA season? It's trading at a 26% chance on Polymarket. So I hit the no immediately, and a $100 investment's going to pay me back $131. No way, shape, or form LeBron James hangs it up at the end of this season because he's going to want his flowers, and the NBA is going to want to use that for ratings as well. Zero chance he retires before playing next year, Joe, for me.
You know, I think a lot of it has to do, Donnie, with how does this season end? Does it end with the Lakers on the outside looking in and no postseason? At that point, there's going to be a whole lot of question marks there, and there's going to be a whole lot of people screaming for, listen, LeBron, take your $50 million and move on. It's time to get pieces that can actually help Luka win something. So I do think that decision will be based upon where the Lakers finish. Either way, you can get in at a pretty good price, and the closer we get to that time, I think the more money you can actually make with those contracts.
Also, make sure you're reading how this bet does get played out here. This market will resolve to a yes if LeBron James retires before the start of the 2026-2027 NBA season, which doesn't mean I'm announcing my retirement, but I will play the 2026-2027 season. He must be done before the season starts. Interesting caveat there, which, again, I do think he does announce that will be his last year and then plays it out. We'll see what happens at that point here. Now, LeBron James's next team. I certainly don't think if he plays next year, Joe, it's going to be back with the Los Angeles Lakers. But if you look at Kalshi right now, trading at 43%, stays with LA or retires. Do you know who's above that? The Cleveland Cavaliers at 45%. Who says you can't go home again and again, Joe?
I'll tell you who it won't be. It won't be with the Miami Heat. I can assure you of that.
Pat Riley's not? Come on now, Pat.
No. Pat's not a big LeBron fan since LeBron left him hanging out to dry there once he decided that he was leaving to go back to Cleveland the first go-around. So, yeah, no. But I think it's one of two choices, right? It's either Lakers retire or it's absolutely back to Cleveland. But I'm not sure Cleveland even wants him at this point.
By the way, Joe, like, you look at LeBron's career, like, he couldn't get it done with Cleveland at first. Nobody wanted to come there. He was the best basketball player in the world, wanted a championship. He made the right move to go from Cleveland to Miami and join up with Wade and Bosh, and they were unbelievable. It's amazing how, like, because Pat Riley's a very good general manager. They would have done whatever to make it happen. I mean, heck, when Dwayne Wade was there ready to win, what are you going to do? Well, let's go get Shaq. Well, okay, Shaq's here, championship. It's amazing to me. Like, I think his career would have looked at differently if it's like, you know what? If he left Cleveland to go to Miami and stacked up 5 total championships or 6 or whatever he eventually got to, I think it looks a lot better than him bouncing around. Now, granted, he did go back to Cleveland and win that championship, but he's going back to Cleveland a third time. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, right. Is Kyrie going to join him? Is he going to stay in that? Like, what are we? Is it a reunion tour? I tend to think, and you know, the other thing is, Donnie, if there's an injury that happens between now and the end of the season, that could affect that market in a big way. If all of a sudden now he's got a rehab all summer heading into the start of next year, and that could be a recipe for retirement.
It's interesting, too, because, you know, like, Miami's still going to have love for LeBron James. Came there, was dominant, and I get it. And Cleveland is as well. I'm interested to see how, like, he gets remembered as a Los Angeles Laker. Because, you know, a lot of great players, the Magic Johnsons, and Kobe's always going to be a legendary status there. Heck, even Shaquille O'Neal as well. But interesting to see if he does leave L.A., are people like, oh, that's right, he did play for the Lakers. Like, it feels like that. Even though he won a championship with them in the bubble, it feels that way, Joe. 2026 Winter Olympics. Ice hockey bronze medal winner. The favorite, Finland. Next favorite, Sweden here. After that, Switzerland. Why? Because the expectations are Canada and the U.S. will be in that gold medal game. But could there be an upset, Joe, which maybe sends the U.S. trading at 12% chance to win that bronze, huh? Maybe?
Well, you know, I think an argument could be made, Donnie, that you can bet 2 out of those 3 teams and probably get a return on your money depending on what happens here over the next 24 hours.
Yeah, it should be interesting to watch it play out. But again, we are all rooting for the same thing. We're getting it women's hockey, Joe. We're getting Canada and the U.S. That's the way we want it. Just give. That Four Nations tournament was so damn good. And over the past Olympics, when these two teams meet in the gold medal, it's fantastic. Nation versus nation violence. That's what we need here. We got more topics coming up from the NFL next, right here on the early line. Cowboys. Like, they're competitive every year. They're going to win a Super Bowl? No, but at least at the beginning of the season, like, I have aspirations to make a playoff, maybe win the division and see what we can do. For the Raiders, every day, the minute you kick off week number 1, you are out of the playoff picture. You stink and can't perform. That's tough because you don't get a 20-year career as a defensive end typically in the NFL. So your time now is to strike. I have all the money. Now I want to win.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
So you know Gary Bettman wants the USA to win because he knows the bump that they can get out of this. Canada wins, and it's like, yeah, whatever, right? And the level of pressure on Canada in this is next level. It's like it's equivalent to like Argentina in soccer or something, Brazil. It's one of those like, yeah, if you lose, don't bother coming home.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listen at those games there. How about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
That type of the year in the NFL, meaning post-Super Bowl here, teams already looking to 2026. New head coaches, Joe, new general managers, and new directions here. And we start in South Florida, as we talked multiple times already on the show. Big news coming down. One of the best wide receivers over the past decade in the NFL was Tyreek Hill. You couldn't stop him on the field. Wide open every play and a big-name player. But now you're 32 years old, coming off a devastating injury. The Miami Dolphins said, "Thank you for everything, Cheetah. Here's the door."
Yeah, well, because Miami was not going to gift you, a whole lot of money there at an expiring contract if you were still on the roster by March 1st. So, and listen, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of thought that maybe a reunion with Mahomes and Andy Reid in Kansas City could be a possibility. Somebody is going to give him a contract. Somebody is going to sign him. Donnie, the only question is who, and I doubt very much he's going to want to go anywhere where they're rebuilding anything. So we'll see what happens here with Tyreek. I don't think we've heard the last of him.
Hard to find really good wide receivers, well, healthy ones that can still dominate, but also hard to find edge rushers here. Chubb wasn't bad for Miami last year, and they still felt the need to let him go, despite having close to 10 sacks last year. And the savings on the cap, Joe, I think it's only maybe $5, $6, $7 million, but apparently they're just looking to clean house, veteran voices out the door, new rebrand incoming.
Yeah, it was funny. Miami got him back in 2022. And they traded a first and a fourth round pick and also Chase Edmonds. Remember that name to the Broncos? Yep. Wow. It was a 5-year, $110 million contract with Miami. That's not going to work because he is absolutely. Although, listen, he had 8.5 sacks and 8 tackles for a loss 2 years ago, but it has not been great for Miami ever since here. But now, listen, as a hired gun, somebody, edge rushers like this, Donnie, somebody is going to grab him. Maybe the Bears, somebody that could use Dallas wouldn't shock me. Teams like that could use a little extra help here on the defensive side.
How about this story here? Browns safety Ronnie Hickman was a victim of assault early Monday morning at a New York City hotel and treated for minor injuries at an area hospital, later released, and is now home resting with his family. The New York Post reported Hickman was jumped by a crew of thugs at a trendy Lower East Side hotel. Oh, no.
Yeah, at 4 a.m., Donnie, at 4 a.m., as he was walking into the trendy hotel. Yeah, so how's that work? What do you think might have been said or happened on the way to the hotel there at 4 a.m.? That's what I'm wondering.
Now, also, could he have been in line at one of the free grocery stores and got beat up because he cut in line? Never know. It's New York City. Things can happen all the time. But yeah, 4 a.m. Nothing good happens, Joe, at 4 a.m. Be home, be tucked in, and relax here. The NFL, it is a business, Joe. Every single day feels like it means something, and it's designed that way. 365. 7 days to the combine, 21 days till free agency, 41 days to the annual meeting, 66 days to the draft, 86 days to the schedule release, training camp, only 147 days away and 206 days away from the 2026 season, Joe. 147 feels like a lot, but that is going to fly before you know it. Me and Joe are going to be talking about, look who showed up at training camp today. Can't wait for that.
Tick-tock here, Donnie. And again, March 1st is a big date because of, if you're still on the team, still on the roster, you got bonuses and everything else coming your way. So there could still be some guys that all of a sudden are going to be available to be signed here as teams decide to hit the reset button. And it's not just Miami.
It's Tag Tuesday in the NFL, Joe. NFL teams eligible to put the tags on the guys they don't think they might be able to re-sign. But understand this. The tag means you are really bad at your job as an NFL franchise because you tie up way too much money in a single player here. Hint, Jerry Jones does it every year, and that's why the Cowboys stink. Let's see if Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP, slaps that tag on him. I don't think that's going to happen, though, Joe. I don't.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen either, and because Schneider has already proven that that's not necessarily how he rolls here. But there are going to be some questions here, and I do think he's number one for Seattle to get it done, and he just earned himself a whole lot of money this past season there with Seattle. That's for sure.
These are the information notes that we need to see, and we have to keep making them public. When the teams, players talk about the ownership group, the head coaches, and the training staff, I want to hear it. Talking about the Buffalo Bills here. How about this? The union dropped the club in the overall rankings from previous years because issues that were raised by players that have not been addressed. Some of those issues are the current training staff is inadequate to help them recover, and travel continues to be the worst part of their experience because they do not have a comfortable amount of space when traveling, and a travel schedule itself is a source of significant dissatisfaction. You look at this and be like, hey, guys, it's a struggling company. You're lucky over here. Like, we can barely even get a bus to run. Like, if we get more money, we'll have it. No, that is a billion-dollar organization with a billion-dollar owner that goes, I just built myself a palace next door. Damn you if you want to be healthy on a flight here. Come on.
It kind of crazy, right, Donnie? But judging from that, the decisions that were made by Pagula and company there, does it really shock you that the Buffalo Bills players expressed significant dissatisfaction with the traveling aspect of it here? So doesn't shock me. You spent all that money for a stadium that nobody really asked for, which looks half like what the Ralph used to be. But hey, congratulations. Let's make sure the Buffalo Bills players are as uncomfortable as possible. Unreal.
Yeah, like if you're the team owner, don't you treat it like you're supposed to be a family? That doesn't mean like everybody gets paid a ton of money here because you still have to run it like a business. But when you want your players on the field to be at their best, doesn't it feel good as an owner? Like, man, I'm worth so much money. Hey, Josh, what do you guys need? Hey, it would be nice, Mr. Pagula. Can you get, you don't even have to get us a new plane. Can you just rent us a new plane on those weekends where we have those long flights with extra seats? Done deal, man. What do you want? Great Wi-Fi on there, laptops at every seat. You got it, man. And how about this, coach? When I come into the locker room after a long day of practice, like, the air conditioner isn't that good. You know what? We're going to get the best air conditioning unit you could possibly have when you're out there training. It's just simple adjustments to make your players better here. But how about this? The new stadium, work has been suspended. Oh, no. Did something collapse? No, there's been graffiti in certain secure locations that they have to check on now. What does that even mean? What are the people jumping into the actual stadium and spray painting in there, and now you can't complete your work? Stop. Come on.
Like, what are we talking about here? I don't even know what any of that means. Like, seriously? You don't have, like, what are they even talking about, man? I mean, just the level of dysfunction in some of these spots is just, it's head-scratching, Donnie. It really is.
By the way, I believe this next story from NFL Rumors account here. Bills Josh Allen is the highest-selling jersey in USA and Canada last season. I got a Josh Allen jersey on my wall, and I'm not even a fan of the Buffalo Bills. So I bought into it, and there you go.
Yeah, listen, that should be the least shocking story of the day there, Donnie. No kidding. And that's why there were a lot of people very upset where, unfortunately, they couldn't get out of the postseason there. He would have been a ratings bonanza there if he would have been able to make it to this year's Super Bowl. Big time.
Like the common fan. Like, we're not the common fans. We're going to watch the Super Bowl, enjoy it, and handicap it anyway. But the common fan just wants, like, oh, I heard that guy's name, or that's a big-time superstar, specifically at the quarterback position. And we certainly did not get that in the Super Bowl here. Maybe next year Josh can make it, and on a more comfortable plane, they can fly out to, where's the Super Bowl next year? L.A.? Yeah, come on. Look at that. L.A. Yeah. Look, the team doesn't want to fly on a cramped plane to L.A. from Buffalo, man. Make it happen here. John Harbaugh, he's making it happen in New York. Did you know, Joe, since 2008, this is the first time he's able to build his entire staff. And by the way, I got questions on his entire staff. Maybe he should have been since 2008, because the staff he built, I'm questioning it already, Joe.
Interesting, right? But listen, you want to give a guy a benefit of the doubt that has this kind of track record, and I'll do it. I mean, but listen, he's in the New York market now, which means when it doesn't work out, you know where the finger's going to be pointed, Donnie. So hopefully it's smooth sailing, at least early on, for him and his new coaching staff.
Most cap space in the NFL. You know what team that is? The Tennessee Titans, who just did a rebrand themselves. For what reason, I don't know, but they are getting a new stadium. But understand this. It's fun to have a lot of cap space, but you know what that means a lot? Just overpaying for players that you just have more money than the other team, and you go, what actually happened here? Why did I spend all that money? Good luck, Tennessee. Spend it wisely. We'll be right back after this break.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I don't think he was trying to take a shot at the team at all. It was just a plain and simple and obvious fact.
I think what's difficult, though, is, and I agree with you, right? I guess I agree with LeBron. The assessment of it all, it's why the Lakers organization seems to be comfortable with that truth, unless they disagree. But again, I don't really know how you disagree.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You knew you were facing a Mike McDonald defense that disguises everything, and that was your game plan, to play scared. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I love the guy. He played that game, Donnie, like it was a preseason scrimmage in August and not the Super Bowl.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
It looked like a clump of grass. It didn't look like an eagle. That's the one, by the way, that USA Today claimed was the best ad. They thought the Lay's ad was number 2. The worst ad was any ad that had AI in it or had an AI company behind it. It wasn't because of the AI. It was because they were the most nonsensical ads you've ever seen. Does anybody look at these ads and understand if they are actually trying to do what they're trying to do, which is to showcase the product as opposed to being great with AI? Very embarrassing.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Pebble Beach Pro-Am was last weekend, and you saw Morikawa after roughly 900 days without a win on the PGA Tour come away with a victory by shooting 22 under, and he earned every bit of that as guys were gunning for him late, which included Scottie Scheffler shooting a 63 on a Sunday. No surprise there. But now we go over to the Genesis Invitational, which is going to take place this week. That's Tiger's event here. And Tiger has a press conference scheduled for 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, Joe. I'm going to ask you first once again, what is Tiger Woods going to tell you today? Because somebody actually had a retweet or a response there. That's quite funny, Joe. I want your response first.
Well, I'm one can only assume, since this is his tournament, right? The Genesis Invitational here at Riviera. This is usually the spot where, all right, Tiger, how many events are you playing? Has the back, has the knee, has the leg. It's usually an update on Tiger's schedule for the year. And obviously, I think the only thing anybody ever cares about is, will he play at Augusta this year? And I think that's, for him to have this kind of announcement and setup, something tells me that it's going to be a positive for him to be in Augusta here next month.
I got to tell you, this is a pretty good one here. So underneath it, this guy Jim responds back, quote, "The back is coming along fine. I'm up to hitting 5-iron now. Not yet full drivers. Doing a lot of putting. Still a ways to go to be able to compete out here with these guys. So we'll see." And he quotes says, "There you go. Now you don't have to listen." That sounds spot on, because I feel we would have gotten the leak. Like, you need to be tuned into this press conference here. Tiger's playing this week, or Tiger's going to play 2 weeks before the Masters, engage how he feels before he plays the Masters. That's what I thought it would be. But it does sound like, hey, guys, feeling good. Back feels good. We'll see. That's what it feels like.
And that's pretty much it, right? Yeah. I mean, it's either going to be kick the can down the road where I'm trending in the right direction, but, you know, I'll know more next week, or something along those lines here. But listen, if he plays at Augusta, the ratings will be through the roof. You know what I mean? He certainly, the broadcast will show nothing but Tiger Woods at 9 over par. So yeah, it's par for the course with him.
How about par for the course going out there? You're going to need to shoot way better than par to win this tournament here, but each and every week, it looks like the standard is always set with Scottie Scheffler. It's him, and it's the rest of the field. And we're not talking about Scottie Scheffler's playing in a Pro-Am that nobody ever heard of, where he's just paid to be there and there's not a lot of great superstars. Look at the names on this list. McIlroy, Schauffele, Fleetwood, Matsuyama, Cantley. Legitimate offers. He's plus 300, well ahead of the rest of the field, Joe.
Isn't it hysterical? I mean, I believe Aberg won this last year, the Genesis. But yeah, this is the last of the West Coast, swing. Then the next tournament, Donnie, will be here in my neck of the woods. That begins the Florida swing, where they'll be here in Palm Beach, then the Arnold Palmer, and so on and so forth. So this is this final one out west. And it would not shock me if Scottie actually, as long as he doesn't shoot 70 plus on the first day, he's likely winning a tournament.
The Florida swing coming up shortly here, but still on the West Coast, as Joe says here. And the funny part about this, too, is, like, you look at the top 5 odds, and it almost doesn't, like, even if Scheffler is like 10 shots back for some reason on Sunday, it feels like he just does start, like, I'm going to shoot a 62 and climb right back up and put pressure on the leaders here. Like, Scheffler, top 5 odds, which you know how hard it is to just finish in top 5s here. He's minus 170. Like, you don't even get plus money on a top 5, which shows how incredible, where the expectations are, oh, Scheffler's in first place heading into Sunday. Yeah, all good with that. And he's also the king of, Joe, I'm going to start slow. You think I'm out of it, and before you can blink on moving day, I'm back in the lead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was just unbelievable. I mean, he was 75-1 heading into Sunday. At Pebble Beach, 75-1. I mean, he's back-to-back tournaments in which he started off his worst rounds in years on Thursday, only to come back and finish top 3, top 5 in both tournaments. Unbelievable. But good luck, because if he actually shoots a pretty good under par number here at the Genesis on Thursday, you're not catching him on Sunday.
Like, look, Scheffler shot 63 on Sunday. Like, yeah, that course was made for birdies here. Did you watch the competition that they were playing under at that point?
Yes.
The flag was blowing sideways like it was going to bend on 18.
Yep.
And there was even a guy putting who had to take a delay because when he put his ball down, the ball was moving. He's like, yeah, no problem. 63 in those conditions, put pressure on there, and almost forced a playoff, which is how incredible that was. But if we do take a look at some of those markets that we actually like, top 10, Scheffler minus 475, McIlroy minus 115. That's all fine and good, Joe. But the markets where it's without Scheffler, like remove the best golfer on the planet from the equation. Now let's get down to business. Rory McIlroy is actually the favorite at 10-1. Schauffele at 16-1, along with Tommy Fleetwood, who had a pretty good appearance there out there at Pebble as well.
Yeah, and loves his West Coast swings there, Fleetwood does.
Yeah.
And he has actually been playing very, very well. But it's good to see Xander has actually been good. Rory had a good Sunday, too, after having a terrible Saturday where I think he had 3 double bogeys and 7 birdies. He was all over the map. But listen, I think head-to-head markets are not a bad way to approach what's happening also in this, because you can't bet Scheffler at 2-1, 3-1 pre-flop. You're not gonna. You gotta hope he falls flat again on a Thursday, and then you can get him at a better price down the road. But I think there are some guys with some value here as long as they get off to a good start here on Thursday.
By the way, again, that sweep coming back to the East Coast here, February 26th, the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, Joe, from Palm Beach Gardens, followed by the Arnie. They always have that there in Orlando, the Puerto Rican Open, and then March 12th to March 15th, the Players' Championship at Sawgrass, followed by the Valspar, the Texas Children's Open, the Valero, and we know it's always after the Valero, Joe, April 9th to 12th, the Masters Tournament. Previous winner, Rory McIlroy. We're not too far away, Joe.
No, we are not. And I think that's exactly what you're going to hear from Tiger, is that, trending in the right direction. But, I'm going to get out there and we'll see that kind of situation here. So should be a fun couple of months here now that golf is back in full swing.
By the way, remember when everybody went to live and, oh, my God, you can't do that, and the PGA found hundreds of millions of dollars? Did you know that last weekend's tournament here, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, $3.6 million to the winner, and that was Morikawa. Prices are up, baby. Win these tournaments. Cash in big. We'll be right back to close this show down in style.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I don't think he was trying to take a shot at the team at all. It was just a plain and simple and obvious fact.
I think what's difficult, though, is, and I agree with you, right? I guess I agree with LeBron. The assessment of it all, it's why the Lakers organization seems to be comfortable with that truth, unless they disagree. But again, I don't really know how you disagree.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
You guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You knew you were facing a Mike McDonald defense that disguises everything, and that was your game plan, to play scared. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I love the guy. He played that game, Donnie, like it was a preseason scrimmage in August and not the Super Bowl.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It looked like a clump of grass. It didn't look like an eagle. That's the one, by the way, that USA Today claimed was the best ad. They thought the Lay's ad was number 2. The worst ad was any ad that had AI in it or had an AI company behind it. It wasn't because of the AI. It was because they were the most nonsensical ads you've ever seen. Does anybody look at these ads and understand if they are actually trying to do what they're trying to do, which is to showcase the product as opposed to being great with AI? Very embarrassing.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Good show here today. We got you update on everything you needed to know, including undefeated men's college basketball teams in action tonight in Amherst, Massachusetts. As Joe points out, maybe that last leg to get over that undefeated hurdle for the remaining parts of the season. And wouldn't it be a shame if Miami of Ohio went undefeated in the regular season, somehow lost in the MAC championship game, and then Joe Lunardi tells you, yeah, they're a bubble team on the way out at this point, just the way college basketball is. We're waiting for the NBA to get back, Joe. That's going to happen on Thursday, but a lot of good stuff still happening in the Olympic Games here. 2 more men's hockey games today, 10:40 a.m. and 3:10 p.m. before we mate for the knockout stage medal rounds, which will appear with Canada and the United States. But at this point of the show, Joe, you know the deal. We like to reach out and see where the public wants to go with our Fade the Public poll. Sometimes you look, Joe, and you want to fade the public, and we ask them a question, they respond back and get the answer to. At SportsGrid on X is how you get these questions here. Just hit the follow button to send them every single day early in the morning, so you can just click a button and be on your way. Will LeBron James retire after the season? There's no way, Joe, that 48.8% listed on this graphic and close to 47% now listed live. Yes, there are clues that he's going to retire after this season. There is no way he is retiring after the season. Very disappointed in the public here, Joe. Just them.
Yeah, listen, I think it is TBD for the time being, Donnie, because I think if they make an actual run here into the postseason, he might come back and bring it back here. But I think if injuries happen or if they get blown out, don't even make the postseason, Donnie, that nobody is going to be happy with the Lakers spending $50 million to bring LeBron James back on a farewell tour. So I think you're right, though. I think the idea of him coming back with the Lakers, if he does come back, it's likely not with the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be with the Lakers, but there's no way LeBron James is going to hang him up this season. I think, especially the way like Chris Paul got done out there, like one of the great point guards of all time. Basically pushed around, shoved out the door, embarrassed, ridiculed, and finally cut. And then he had to put out, I guess this is it for me. And the Clippers are like, thanks, Chris. And that was it at this point. No, LeBron James is going to get his flowers just like all the greats are supposed to. And he's not going to let that go. That's going to be an 82-game schedule where 41 games are on the road. He's going to expect his flowers from every single NBA city. And the NBA will eat it up and put it on TNT/ESPN and NBC or whoever needs to see it at that point here. LeBron James, no shot retiring here, Joe. But tonight, we got to get the people what they need. That's best bets. Here's our buy section. College basketball is the name of the game, Joe. Big games across the board. Where do we go tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Mackey Arena here, Donnie, with the game of the night. Number 1, Michigan on the road, taking on the Boilermakers. And, yeah, I'm sorry. Michigan is a deserved road favorite here for a reason. And I just do not trust this Purdue team against the physicality that they're about to see, Donnie, with Michigan. Listen, Michigan, number 1 offensive efficient team. They are number 4 defensively. This is where the difference is, right? Purdue they're a good defense, but they are not what Michigan is going to bring to the table. They rely too much on jump shots, and I think they're going to have an issue here tonight. So, yeah, I like Michigan to go into Mackey Arena and continue with their number 1 seed and continue to be the best team in the country and prove it again tonight.
Michigan on the road, and away we go, Joe. I'm going to go to a little bit of smaller college basketball. Gardner-Webb, one of the worst teams in the country, if not the worst, taking on Charleston Southern. The 3-win Gardner-Webb squad. There's 9 teams in conference play with Gardner-Webb and Charleston Southern. If you look at Gardner-Webb's offense, it's 9th overall, Joe. Here's the intriguing part about this. The defense for Charleston Southern is number 1 in effective field goal percentage here and number 1 at defending inside the arc. You know the worst three-point shooting team in that conference is? It is Gardner-Webb. You know who gets to the line 8th out of 9 teams? It is Gardner-Webb. I don't see how they score, and also understand this. Number 1 in blocks per possession is Charleston Southern. If you can't shoot the 3 and you get chased off the 3-point line and you're going to have a tough time because guys are blocking shots down low, you're not scoring here. You do expect Charleston Southern to run away with this game, but Gardner-Webb getting the 71 points ain't happening, Joe. Team total under 70.5 points tonight.
I love it, Donnie. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. Points are going to be hard for Gardner-Webb, who is, not very good, to say the least.
And by the way, a close little one here. I really do like. I'm telling you, Miami of Ohio matches up real well tonight against UMass. Something to keep an eye on. Will they be undefeated tomorrow morning? Well, the best part about it is Joe and Donnie will be here bright and early to tell you if they did that tomorrow. See you then.